Hey, lovelies. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. This microphone, like, it's going to be the death of me, I swear to God. Like, I don't know. Do you ever just, every day? It's every day. Okay. Hi.
0, 1. Let's get started.
Hi guys, how are you doing? What is new with you? I guess you can't answer that. This mic is making me lose my mind. I honestly am just gonna buy like another one at this point because I don't know what to do with the sound quality in this. Like, it's not hitting the peak that I need to hit, so pause with me on that one, but it'll come eventually. Anyway, I have had the most roller coaster. Okay, it hasn't been a roller coaster of a week, but it's been like, I'm just like all over the place, like so all over the place right now. I feel like I haven't stopped moving in like probably like 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. Honestly, ever since I got back from Hawaii, I think I had like 2 days of rest, and then I've just been like boom, 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 like constantly doing something. And it's all good. Like, I've been very productive, sort of. I've been productive in certain things, not others. I think since the weather's warm, I've had a very hard time disciplining myself. I've stayed in the gym and like I'm still doing all that stuff. It's just like I want to be outside. But today blessed me with a rainy day so I can be productive and get what I need to get done. Because when it's sunny outside, like, I would have found an excuse to be like, I can just go bask in the sun and get tan, because that's kind of what I've been doing recently. If you couldn't tell, she got a little tan on her, she got a little sun, and I needed it. But I do also need to lock in and stop going to lay in the sun for hours at a time, because that also could end in not a good way. But yeah, I have kind of been off my grind mentally, I feel. I think that I've just been so like moving so much and doing so many things. I've also been going out a lot more recently, which is probably because it's getting warmer, and I think that has kind of thrown me for a loop because I haven't gone out and like had a genuinely good time in quite a while. So like now that I do go out and have a good time, it's like, oh, like, yeah, let's do this again. But now I'm like, I don't know. I honestly think it's just that the weather is nice. Like, I want to be outside all the time, anytime. And you can't, like, get your work done when you're outside, Okay. But enough of a ramble on that. For today's episode, I have been having a lot of conversations recently just about, like, signs and the universe and stuff like that. And I guess I've never really dived into, like, my spiritual thinkings, and I kind of want to circle that today in the episode because I am very passionate about this topic. I feel a lot of good things about this topic. I think that this explains me as a person in a lot of ways, and I think it's helped me a lot, especially in getting to like where I'm at now. And I didn't, like, recognize a lot of these things until, wait, maybe I wrote it down. Okay, the last thing that I dated was November. So this was, like, I guess it was closer to, like, maybe end of November, maybe beginning of December, when I was, like, there were a lot of things going on in my life at that point, and I was just, like, I need to rebrand myself. I need to boost my self-esteem. I need to just, like, get back on track and, like, figure out how to connect with myself. And I grew up in a lot of different religions. I grew up, like, going to church. I went to Sunday school, but then my mom's Buddhist, so I grew up going to Buddhism meetings, and then my dad's Sufi and also Jewish, so I was at a Jew camp and I was in Sufism. So there's a lot of like religious I don't know what the word would be, just like there's a lot of different religious views that I have gained throughout the years, but I think that the one that I have stuck with through my whole life, like, that has been personalized to me instead of just, like, having someone influence me, has been just my spirituality and how I see the universe and how things connect. So when I was I was at this point, like, end November, beginning December, I was going through a breakup, and it was just a weird time. Like, it was weird. But yeah, so I wanted to dive into more of the things that make me me instead of I cater to people. Like, I'm a caterer. I think I mentioned this before. I'm just very much a people pleaser. So this is when I started diving into just, like, taking care of myself, I guess. And I want you guys to all be able to do that too. And so today we're going to talk about the laws of the universe, and I have them all, like, written down. Like, I went through a whole thing, and just, like, I was studying, basically. I was studying for myself, and I think that reading books like this and, like, that surround these topics, I think that it's genuinely going to, like, fix... I don't like using the word fix, but it's going to help your mindset, and it's going to inspire you to want to do more for yourself. And at least that's what it did for me. And I feel like if you really put in the work and you put in the effort to want to become better, like, you're not going to become better if you don't want to. And you're not going to become better if you don't, like, put the effort into trying to become better. Like, it's a very uphill, downhill battle, and there's never an end to it. I mean, I guess death would be the end to it, but, like, there's never an end until you die. And with that being said, you want to improve yourself as much as you can every single day to get to your, like, you can always become better so you can be your peak self at death, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that sounds a little bit more depressing than I mean it to. But anyway, the laws of the universe. So the first law of the universe is divine oneness, and that highlights the interconnections of all things beyond our senses. And then I highlighted this, which is every thought, action, and event is in some way connected to anything and everything else. Be compassionate, recognize we all are one. How can I show more compassion to those I don't understand? That's, like, one of the questions that sometimes when I was reading this, it would have, like, a question of, like, how can you relate this to your life? So this one would be, how can I show more compassion and love to those I don't understand? And I think that's something that is I think that's really hard. I think a lot of us struggle with that. I think I struggle with that. I think that's something I've been coming to terms with recently, is just, like, just because you don't understand that person, or just because whatever they're doing doesn't make sense in your mind, doesn't mean that it doesn't work for them, or it doesn't, like, there's not a reason. Like, you just have to learn. My answer was by accepting that we all have our own backgrounds that shape us into the beautiful beings we grow to be. So, like, if you're friends with someone and they're continuously disrespecting you and just, like, or talking to you in a way that, like, you're not comfortable with, or, like, they're just doing something repetitively that is kind of fucking with you, like, you're not okay with, or something like that, then you're more than welcome to, like, kick them out of your life. Like, that's not something that I'm saying that you need to be friends with this person, but anyone that's done you dirty, you need to learn to understand them. You don't have to understand them completely, but, like, there's a certain point of, oh, okay, I get where you're coming from. And you don't even have to forgive them. It's just, like, a sense of peace that you have with yourself, of being able to be like, okay, they had this that, like, fucked them up in their life, so I can understand why they would have reacted to this situation like this. Not saying that that means it's okay for them to, or that you need to continue to be there for them. It's just, like, okay, like, it's a come to terms, like, it's a peace thing, you know? Like, it leaves you with peace, and that's definitely... Can you see my abs? Or my abs abbing? I love the gym. Okay. But, then number 2 is the law of vibration. and that is that everything is in constant motion. Our vibrational frequency can inform our lived experiences. How to elevate your frequency is yoga, sound bathing, or like chakra work. I actually don't know what chakra work is, to be honest. I should probably look into that one. But like yoga, I love yoga. I haven't been doing it really much recently, but I did do a hot yoga class like once in the past month, but it was great. It like really set my day in the right direction. I had a fabulous day after that. So I definitely want to get back into doing yoga more. I think that it really is a calming thing for me, and I love doing yoga. But yeah, okay, law of correspondence, which is patterns repeat throughout the universe. On a personal level, our reality is a mirror of what's happening inside us at the moment. I, like, reading these for the first time, like, I mean, everyone, like, knows of the laws of the universe, but, like, reading them and just being like, oh, shit, like, I don't know, like, it was such, like, a, time for me to go through these and, like, really dive into what they were, but the law of correspondence, our reality is a mirror of what's happening inside us at the moment. If you are depressed and you are constantly, like, just, like, your outlook on the world is so negative, it's going to appear even more negative. Does that make sense? Like, if your outlook on the world is more positive, then you're going to experience things in a more positive light. Like, if I went to the park and I was like, God, there's so many people here, like, why are there so many people, like, this is so annoying, I hate, like, all these people, like, it's so weird, like, why are they dressed like that, like, why are they doing that, like, ew, like, that's so weird. But if I'm, like, you're not gonna have a good time because you're noticing all the, like, bad things, but that's reflecting inside of you, because I'm sure if that's the outlook that you're having on other people, when you go home, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, like, that's not good, like, I don't like this about myself and I don't like this about myself. Like, the more insecure you are as a person, the more insecure you're gonna be, or the more insecure your outlook on the world is gonna be. I think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. But, like, yeah, so, like, this is my favorite quote. Not my favorite quote, but it's definitely up there, and it's not happening, or it's happening for you, not to you. I love this quote. I swear when I heard this quote for the first time, I was literally like everything is connecting. Like, it's all interlocking. Because, I mean, there's some instances, sure, where, like, damn, like, that happened to me. Like, fuck. Like, I really hate that happened to me. I definitely have experiences like that. But I think I'm able to overlook those experiences with the other experiences that I've had, and the way that I've reacted towards those, because once you realize that, like, the struggles that you're going through and the tough times that you're going through, like, are actually benefiting you in the long run, you're going to be so much more appreciative of them. I think that, like now when I'm going through a pit, like, I'm kind of in a pit right now. Like, I'm not in a pit, but, like, I'm not at my peak right now. Like I said, the cycle thing, I'm, like, kind of at the, like, sluggish part of my cycle. So I'm just kind of, like, you know? And I'm not functioning to, like, the full functionality that I want to be functioning at. Which, honestly, I don't think it relates to my period in this sense. I think this is more of, like, a mind thing. I'm sure that guys do this, too, where it's just, like, you just kind of, like, for, like, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean, though. But, like, that's where I'm at. But I know, like, in these moments is where I need to work harder to pick myself up and build myself up so that I can get to that point again and I can be there. Because if I was at that point all the time, I wouldn't continue to push myself. And every time I get back to that point, I am able to push myself even further, and I'm able to accomplish even more things. So it's like I need the sluggish moments so that I can build myself up even more, and I can, like, accomplish even more than what I've been accomplishing, you know? But yeah, if your life is a chaotic or this is, like, another quote from Kager, If your life is chaotic and fearful, it's because there is chaos and fear within. If your life is calm and grounded, it is because you feel at peace within. Honestly, my life has been really peaceful recently, and I've been craving chaos. I probably have mentioned this before, but I have an issue where I really do crave chaos. Like, I love it. I love chaotic moments. I have been very at peace recently, and I have made some steps to make my life a bit more chaotic because I like it. I don't know why. I don't even know if I like it. It's just like I crave it. Like, if my life is so calm, I need something to go, like, I need something to, like, not work out for me so that I can, like, I don't know what it is. I really, truly, I should probably go to therapy for that. But it's just, like, if my life is so, like, on track and, like, I'm really focusing on myself and everything's, like, at peace. And that's where I've been at for a minute. And then I'm just like, it's a little too boring. Let's spice things up. And then my life is chaotic for, like, a couple weeks. And then I'm like, bored of this. And then I'm just, like, back focusing on myself and at peace. I don't know. That's something I definitely should look in on, but it's okay. Number 4 is the law of attraction. Everyone knows this one. Once you're putting out there, you're going to receive back. That kind of goes back to the law of correspondence, but it's what you want, like manifesting and just, or what is the quote that everyone knows? I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. It's so true. I am such a lucky girl. Like, my friends and I are always like, we're lucky girls. I think Nikki started that one, but I took it back. But, like, yeah, I've been very, very blessed, and I think it is genuinely because I manifest it. Like, my intuition is so on point with things. Like, this is an example of what happened to me, like, a minute ago. I was driving in West Virginia, which is, anyone from around Maryland or, like, DMV, whatever, knows that West Virginia is a sucker when it comes to speeding tickets. But I wasn't even thinking about it like that. Like, it was just, like, 7 in the morning, and I was on my way to my lash appointment, which, Hannah, I need your assistance again, please. But I was on my way to my lash appointment, and I was on the road, and I was so tired. I was literally about to fall asleep behind the wheel. Like, I was not in the right mindset to be driving. And in my head, I was like, what if I just, like, got pulled over by a cop? Like, that would wake me up. And I had that thought in my head, and literally, like, 20 minutes later, a cop pulled me over, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I was actually, like, dozing behind. Like, I was starting to fall asleep. And now I have to go to court for that, so, yay. But honestly, like, I'm not really pressed about it, because in the moment, like, I thought, oh, what if this happens? And then it did happen. And then I didn't even realize I was speeding, to be honest. Like, I was that tired. So if he hadn't pulled me over, I feel like something much worse could have happened. So, law of attraction. But now that has happened to me so frequently, where I'll have a thought and then the thought will become reality, that whenever I have a thought, like a negative thought now, I have to say out loud that it's not going to happen. So, like, whenever I went shark diving, I was like, in the morning, I was like, what if I got eaten by sharks today? And then I was like, my manifestations for that morning, or my affirmations for that morning, I was like, you will not get eaten by a shark today. And then I didn't, and I had the most amazing, surreal time, and it was a crazy experience. Highly recommend to anyone. Like, you won't be scared. I mean, maybe you will be, but for me, like, I don't know. I thought I would be more scared, and then I just got in the water, and I was with the sharks, and I was like, I wouldn't do caging, though. That's scary. That freaks me out. I think being in a cage makes it more scary. I don't know. Maybe that's just, like, claustrophobia. Anyway, okay. But yeah, it's law of attraction. When we focus on what we want instead of what we don't want, it will show up in our life. It's just, the law of attraction. Law of inspired action, which is taking real, actionable steps to invite what we want into our life. So, like, yes, law of attraction, you can definitely attract things that you want in your life, but law of inspired action, you have to put the work in to get there. Like, starting my podcast, for example, I obviously wanted to start a podcast, but, like, that's not something you can just attract into your life. Like, I have to take every single step that I can to do this, sit down, talk with you guys every week, like, make a video, even if it's not blowing up right now, or, like, anything. Like, you just have to stay on top of it. You have to continue with it, you know? So, like, obviously I haven't been posting as much as I was before, but I'm still trying to stay on that, like, at least one, like, episode a week. Just because oh my god, I'm so busy right now, I can't even. Okay, but anyway, yeah, when we let go of our need for control. Okay, this one I really liked, or this is also law of inspired action. When we let go of our need for control, we are instead open to all possibilities. I think I mentioned I'm a bit of a control freak, so anytime it tells me to, like, let go of control, I think I'm getting better, to be honest, but, like, I am very much a control freak in a lot of ways. Like, I don't need things to be my way, I just need things, I guess maybe I do kind of need things to be my way, but I can also, I don't know. Okay. Law of perpetual transmission of energy. So everything in the universe is constantly evolving or fluctuating. Every action is preceded by a thought, with thoughts themselves having the power to eventually manifest into our physical reality. That's literally what I was just talking about, and I forgot about this, okay? But yeah, like, your thought will become reality, and when you continuously, once you're, like, on the frequency of everything, like, it just starts, like, things start clicking, okay? Like, I don't know how to explain, like, diving into the frequency of the world, but, like, or the universe, but there's something, and, like, once you dive into it, you're just, like, you see all these, like, bits and pieces connecting, and that it's, like, as I'm talking to this, I literally just looked up the camera, and it was 2222. The girls that get it, the girls that don't. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just freaky, like, it's so, like, it's so continuous that, like, I can't, it's like, you can't even be like, oh, this is just happening. Like, maybe once or twice, sure, but then when it's such a continuous thing, and, like, you notice it at certain points in your life, it's so, like, I don't know, okay, it's so interesting. But yeah, just, like, actively seek to uplift negative energy around you, and that will make things more positive. The law of cause and effect. I feel like this is a pretty known one too. Just highlights the direct reflection between actions and events. Trust that every action will have a reaction, no matter if it's good or bad. What you put out there may not come back to you at the moment, but that vibration, that energy that you put out there has a ripple effect. If you're coming from a place of anger or resentment, if you put that energy out there, you'll eventually be reflected as a result. So no matter what energy, like, that's why you should always be trying to radiate as much positive energy as you can and trying to sift through that negative energy, because it's going to come back to you. Like, everything is going to come back to you in one way, shape, or form. So if you're going outside and you're thinking of how ugly these people are, and you're making fun of people, and you're putting negativity out in the world, that negativity is going to come back to you. That's why people are always saying that, like, if you're getting bullied by someone, it's like, oh, they're just insecure. Like, yeah, they probably are, because why are they talking to you like that? Like, what person leaves their house and is like, oh, how many people can I offend today? Like, what? How is that a thought that goes through your head? Okay, but then law of compensation, which is you'll reap what you sow. The law stating your efforts will always come back to you positively. If you are seeking something, you must contribute it in the same way towards your goal. Where am I being called to support others today? That type of thing. So, like that's a question you can ask yourself. Is like, okay, how can I help someone else? Like, you know, that's kind of tying into all the others. Okay. Law of relativity, which is we are inclined to compare things in the world, but in reality, everything is natural. Realism exists in all things, and in the end, meaning comes down to our perspective and our perception. Applying this law will help us understand the tougher parts of our lives with greater compassion. An example of this would be if we're feeling ungrateful for something, it could be because we are comparing it to someone else's arrangements in life. Instead, we'd be better off appreciating what we have without needing to compare it to someone else's. So that's just like, focus on yourself, like compare your achievements with your past achievements, and don't focus on trying to compare what you're doing in life versus what someone else is doing in life, because you never have the same situation going on with anyone. I need lip gloss. You never have the same situation going on with anyone. Like, everyone in the world is always evolving in their own way, whether that's in a good direction or a bad direction. Everyone's always evolving. And if you are focusing on comparing yourself to someone else's evolution, then it's going to be like what? Like you're going to get messed up in your head because you're not going to be appreciating the right things. I've definitely done this before. I'm victim. But I honestly, my mom tends to snap me out of this. Like, I remember I was having like a really bad day, and I ended up calling my mom, and I was just like, I don't know, like I just feel like I really haven't done much, like I don't know. And she was like, Ella, what month is it? I guess it's May now, but this was in March or April that we had this conversation. And I was like, I don't know, like I just feel like I haven't done much, like I don't know, like I don't know what's happening. And she was like, you realize like you've already hit pretty much all your goals for this year. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, I remember like at the beginning of the year, so basically my mom had me I mentioned my mom's Buddhist, so at the beginning of the year she had me tell her a few of my goals so she could chant for me about the goals. So, and she chants every day, so like every day she's chanting for me to reach my goals. And so she has them like listed, so she thinks about them every day. I haven't thought about them, or like I think about them, but like I don't think about them every day, you know. And she was like, yeah, you've already, like, you're almost done with all of the goals that you've completed. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, can you tell me what they are? Like, I don't remember. And she was like, well, you told me that you were going to go to Hawaii for your spring break. You said that you were going to get back in the gym and that you wanted to run a marathon. And then, like, I don't think I said anything about the podcast because I don't think the podcast had, like, I don't think I pitched that when she asked me this question about goals. Yeah, that didn't even happen. So she was like, you've been in the gym, like you've been going to the gym continuously? You've continuously been going to the gym. She was like, you've been training to run a marathon, and you managed to get a ticket, and you're going to Hawaii. And I was like, shit, like, in that moment, I was like, oh, like, you're right. And it's only been, like, 2-3 months since I had said that. And I'd already completed all those goals. And, like, I'm still in the gym. I'm still training to run a marathon. Like, I'm getting to where I want to be. And then on top of all of that, I started this podcast. And I have a vision for, like, where the direction of my life is going to go. And I wasn't thinking about any of that because I wasn't comparing my successes with my past successes, and I was just like down in the dumps. So always focus on what your goals are and make sure you have someone that will recognize your goals. I mean, you also have to be able to recognize your own goals and accomplishments, but I feel like my mom is definitely someone that really like points it out to me and is like, hey love, like you did this. And I'm just like, oh yeah, thanks, like cool, okay. But okay, law of polarity, which is, if I'm saying that wrong, don't come for me. Law of polarity, everything in life has an opposite. Good and evil, love and fear, warm and cold. The key to understanding these are all two sides of the same coin. So the contrast brings more clarity. Tune into what the opposite looks like, which can reveal a new perspective or lesson. So if you're so caught up in your head, if you're fighting with someone and you're so caught up in your head about everything that you're doing, put yourself in their shoes. Like, be like, okay, even if I don't agree with where they're coming from, how are they coming from that place? Like, why are they coming from that place? What is so important to them that, like, this, you know, like, you just have to be able to realize, because in reality, like, no one's ever going to fully agree on something. So being able to see both sides of a situation is the most, like, it is hard. It's really hard, but, like, it is such, like, a power. It's kind of a power play that you have the ability to be able to be like, no, I see your point of view. I truly, really do. I just personally do not agree with it, but I understand where you're coming from, and I want to help you, even I don't want to help you, whatever. But it's also such, like, for yourself, if you're, like I said, if you're fighting with someone, and even if they can't reach that and they aren't able to put themselves in your shoes and understand where you're coming from, at least you were able to understand where they were coming from, and you can walk away with peace in your mind knowing that you did everything that you did to fix that situation or to help that situation, you know? Law of rhythm, which is cycles are a natural part of the universe. What have I been talking about this entire freaking time? It's like cycles. As I'm rereading these, I haven't, like, gone through reading these, like, and really thinking about them in a minute. I just looked at the clock and it was 32:32. Okay, that one kind of wasn't crazy. I saw 32:32, and then I looked down, and the time on the voice recording was 32, and then I was like, well, duh, I started them at the same time. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so the law of rhythm, which is cycles are a natural part of the universe. Integration is just as important as growth. We accept ourselves to be one way all the time, but this is not sustainable. Taking note of your inner rhythms, work with them instead of fighting them. So, like I've said, like, with my period, that's one cycle, but then you also have, like, your mind cycle, and, like, guys probably, I don't know. I honestly don't have many guy friends, but I think I need more, because I'll go into that in a minute, but, like, okay, hold on, we'll circle back there, but yeah, just taking note of your inner rhythms, being able to address that about yourself too, and understand that for yourself is so inspiring. Like, it is really, really cool, I think, because it helps put you in the right vibration of the universe, and it sets you in the right frequency, you know? And then the law of gender, which is masculine and feminine energy exist in all things. Achieve your own balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies in order to live more authentically. That is something that I am kind of coming to terms with recently, or, like, maybe struggling a bit more. I don't know. I feel like I'm able to connect with the divine feminine, or just, like, the feminine side of myself very well, and I get along with girls really well. I think in high school I was more friends with guys, but I was also kind of a pick me in high school. I'd be like, I'm friends with them because they're less drama. And then, like, later on, like, with junior, senior year, I started to become friends with more girls, but, like, earlier on, I was always, like, I tended to just be closer with guys, and now I'm scared of men, so now I tend to only be friends with girls. But, like, recently I've been coming to the terms of recently I've been appreciating men a lot more, just in the sense of, like, how y'all's mind works. Like, you guys are okay, so the divine feminine, which is, like, the nurturer, the healer, the compassionate peacemaker, and then masculine energy is focused on doing and achieving. And honestly, I've recognized this in, like, every single woman I've met. Well, not every single, but, like, in the women that I've met and the men that I've met, women do really tend to be, and I wrote an essay about this in psychology, and it does, like, work back to how our brains are connected, or how our brains are developed, where women are just more nurturing, more caring, more of a peacemaker, you know, and men are the go-getters, like, the achievers, like, they set goals, they go and they reach them. I'm not saying that women can't do that and men can't be nurturers. That's kind of, what's the word, like, our set, like, that's how our brains are set and developed, you know? It's not a bad thing, it's cool. It's actually an amazing thing, because once you realize what side you are, like, I'm definitely connected with my feminine side, but now I'm trying to become more connected with my masculine side, because I think that's why I've been a bit more dramatic recently. I definitely am a very emotional person. I don't know, because, like, crying-wise, I don't think I express my emotions very much, but I don't know, because when I'm... How much of this can I put on the internet? Hold on. Let me think about how I can word this so you guys can hear me say it, because I have the thought in my head of what I want to say. I just don't want to say it on the internet. But my, like, I guess typically when I'm with a guy, I tend to accentuate my feminine side. But when I'm just hanging out, like, with a friend, like a guy that's a friend, or am just, like, even some of my girlfriends, like, I'm able to bring out the masculine side of me, but it's when, like, there's some type of attraction there, I'm not able to, I feel like I just push the feminine side of me instead of, like, having the masculine and the feminine side of me, because I feel like I am very much of, like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm a tomboy. I don't know why that sounds pick me. I think it's just, like, giving from when I was in high school, but I don't know, just when I hang around guys that I'm trying, or, like, I like, or, like, something's happening, I just tend to be a bit more of an emotional mess. But when I'm around the guys that I'm just friends with, or, like, my girlfriends, I feel like I'm very standing, like, I'm standing on my 2 feet, and I have both sides, and I'm able to, like, mix them together, and then I'm centered in my masculine and my feminine. So I guess I just need to work on how to talk to a man. Ugh. Anyway, that's disgusting. But yeah, those are the laws of the universe. That is how I feel kind of shapes me as a human being, and how I think my views on the world are. And if anything, it's just being able to be in tune with yourself and making sure that you're just spreading positivity in the world, because that will circle back to your life. Like, you do have the power to control how you treat others, and I think that that is going to circle back, and it's going to affect your life. And if you're crazy mean to everyone, and then that's going to come back to you in one way, shape, or form. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely afternoon, a lovely morning, whatever time it is for you. I hope it is amazing. I hope you had a great day, and I am sending you all the love. I have to go do so much homework that I've been putting off, and I have to go to the gym. So that is my day, but I am excited. I feel like I'm starting my day right now. It's actually 1 p.m., but I've already been to a class. So this is a good start to my day. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.